In this video, we're going to be going over the huge market rise happening right now in NBA 2K23. My team, as you guys know, yesterday we did get these new highlight reel packs, and to be honest with you guys, I thought it was a decent content drop and better than most people do think, but overall, I think we got to be honest with each other, it just really wasn't that great of a drop. I think it was like kind of mid. I mean, yes, Dark Matter Kobe is still Dark Matter Kobe. He's going to go for a lot of MT and is still a very good shooting guard. Anthony Davis was super underwhelming in my opinion for a Dark Matter card. If he was a Galaxy Opal, or if he was not like meant to be like the second best card in the set, that obviously makes sense. But the fact that, you know, the other Dark Matters in the promo drops, right? Like if you look at the second Dark Matter, right? Like if we say LaMelo was the headliner, Kristaps was the second best Dark Matter, Kristaps is so much better than a guy like Anthony Davis. If we go to the Radiant drop, I mean, T-Mac was definitely the best Dark Matter in the set, and D-Rob is also so much better than a guy like Anthony Davis. So if you kind of compare the Radiant drop to the highlight reel, if we're just comparing the Dark Matters, I mean, T-Mac's better than Kobe in my opinion, and D-Rob is 10 times better than a guy like Anthony Davis. I mean, at least in my opinion. I'm not saying 80 is a terrible card. He is still a Dark Matter and a very good option at the power forward position, but is he as good as Kristaps or D-Rob? I would say probably not. And then you look at the Opals, I mean, Gary Payton, I will say, is an absolute beast, especially for his price tag. Like, I'm definitely going to be picking up the squad, and I think a lot of you guys should be using him as well, because I do think he's such a good point guard. But then the other Opals like Blake Griffin, Josh Smith, and Dominique Wilkins, I mean, if they updated Josh Smith his jump shot and gave him a better release, then we could literally be talking about one of the best small forwards in the game if he had a better jump shot. Like, this card legit could be like a LeBron James with a better jump shot as long as he had an updated release, but they didn't want to update his release. Blake Griffin, I mean, he's got his jump shot on quick timing, which really isn't a great jump shot, doesn't have amazing dribble sigs, like he's just an okay power forward. And then Dominique Wilkins is Dominique Wilkins, he's just a good rim runner. I personally don't like his jump shot, so for me the only good Galaxy Opal was Gary Payton. And the pink diamonds, I will say that's probably where the content drop had its best, was definitely in the budget cards. I think Lance Stephenson's really good, Wiseman, even Dion Waiters, like all of these budget cards, except for Lou Williams, like all these pink diamonds, I think are really good, especially Cam Reddish, James Wiseman, and Lance Stephenson. I think these guys are amazing new budget cards in the game. So overall, this content drop I think was better for budget players and budget cards than it was for the top tier cards, where if we look at the past drops, it was like, yes, there were still some good budget cards like, you know, Anthony Simons, but really wasn't like too many great budget cards. But there was like Kristaps, there was LaMelo, and then there was Rudy Gay, there was Jonathan Isaac, like who's one of the best small forwards and one of the best cards in the game. There was also Michael Porter Jr., who's like really cheap and a really good card. And then you look at Dino Raja, who is a pink diamond, and he's better than any single pink diamond we've gotten pretty much this entire year in the past couple weeks. So all around, I think the highlight reel drop was a little bit underwhelming, I will say. So talking about the market, what that's going to have an effect on is the market I do think is kind of up right now, and that hasn't happened in forever. Usually every single content drop, most of the top tier cards are down in price. Like when we got the 16-bit drop, a lot of these cards from Radiant and a lot of these cards from, you know, the All-Star, you know, Alter Reality, a lot of these cards did go down in price. But right now, we are seeing a pretty big rise in the market. I mean, T-Mac has actually gone back up in price. He's up to over 900,000 MT on Xbox. That's kind of what he's been going for. But when Kobe did get released, he dropped a little bit in price to like 800,000, maybe 850, just because people were kind of panic selling him. I'm not sure why, because T-Mac is like the best card in the game. We look at Dark Matter D-Rob. I mean, he's going back up in price as well. Like I might look to sell my D-Rob because overall his price is up right now, right? If you look at the new Dark Matters like the Kristaps and LaMelo, they're kind of bouncing back up in price as well. So if you guys are looking to sell some of your top tier Dark Matters, or just sell pretty much most cards in the game, like even if like you look at the new edition cards, like D-Wade was I think below 2, or like I think he was like 225, at least that's what I saw D-Wade going for. Now I'm seeing him going for at least 300,000 MT. We look at Oscar Robertson, he's up in price as well, over 300,000 MT. I've been seeing this card end for like 250, 275. So now this card's going back up in price. Just a lot of these Dark Matters and top tier cards in the game, like even Yao Ming, he's rising back up in price a decent amount. So if you guys want to sell some of your cards, I do think right now is going to be a great time to do so. I will say, for some cards in the game, they are dropped. So if you look at the Radiant set and you look at Denny was 40 to 45,000 MT, and now you can find a Denny for, you know, 30,000 or below. I mean, I actually saw him yesterday going for 20,000 MT. So a lot of these, I would say, budget cards did drop in price. Like for example, I would assume Pink Diamond D-Rob, I actually haven't checked this, but I would assume Pink Diamond D-Rob has gone down in price because Wiseman is like really good, but maybe not, because D-Rob still holds so much value. But this might actually be a snipe of 43,000 MT. But yeah, so D-Rob looks to be the same. I thought he would have dropped a little bit just because Wiseman is a really good budget center, but I will say some point guards in the game like James Harden are down in price. Yesterday at least I saw a couple James Hardens for buyouts. You probably won't see any like today because like I said, the market is starting to rise back up. The market did drop a tiny bit during Friday day when all those cards were selling, like from 3 p.m. to like 5 or 6 p.m. Eastern time. The market was a lot lower than it is now, but now it's just risen back up, and it probably will continue on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and the market will just keep rising back up. So I think honestly Saturday night would be a great time to sell any of your cards you want to. I mean, Kobe Bryant is going for a ridiculous price. Like, why is Kobe going for over 800,000 MT? It makes literally no sense. I think a fair price for Kobe would be like 500,000-600,000 MT, because at that point, if you're spending the same price for T-Mac, just go and get yourself a Tracy McGrady. In my opinion, I think he's a decent amount better than a guy like Kobe Bryant. So I'm not sure why people are spending so much MT. Well, I know why, because it's Kobe, and it makes sense in that, in that regards, because it is Dark Matter Kobe, and he's a really fun card to use. But Anthony Davis is probably the most overpriced card in the game. Like, why are you paying 550,000 MT when, to be honest with you guys, Dino Raja isn't that much worse? I'm not saying he's better than AD. Like, Dino's not better than AD in my opinion, but he's not that much worse, and he's like 30,000 MT compared to a Dark Matter AD going for what, over 500,000 MT, 550k. Like, I think he's one of the most overpriced cards in the game. I mean, if you look at Gary Payton's price though, like he's only around, he's less than 50,000 MT. Like, he might be the new best value card in the game, because I think he's a top 3 point guard, even over a guy like Ben Simmons. So those cards, I think I've noticed gone down a tiny bit in price, like Ben Simmons and Magic Johnson. I've seen them go down a little bit. They're maybe not as high because some people are questioning like, should they go get Gary? Who's better, Gary, Ben, Gary, Magic? I think a lot of people probably will stick with Magic Johnson and Ben Simmons, but for me personally, I mean, we're looking at Gary Payton for under 5,000 MT possibly. I'm definitely picking up a Gary Payton, and he's going right into my starting lineup because he's honestly such a good point guard. He does everything on the court for you at a very high level, especially his defense we know is going to be very elite. So talking more about the market, just while I go pick up a Gary Payton real quick, because I definitely want to add him to the squad, and I don't see him really dropping much lower than he is right now. I do believe he's like just under 50,000. Will he go down more? I mean, he might go down more, but 46,500 MT, I think that's a really good price for a top 5. He's definitely a top 5 point guard. I would say easily top 4 as well, over Dwayne Wade and Oscar Robertson. It really comes down to him, Magic, and him and Ben. He's not on LaMelo's level, but I would say 1000% going to be better than a guy like a Harden, a guy like a Russ, a guy like D Wade, Oscar Robertson. Like, I think he's better than all those guys. So Gary Payton is definitely going to be my starting point guard, and then I'll probably just move Russ to the bench and then sell my Denny, because Denny's actually, going back up in price. He went all the way down to 20,000 MT yesterday, and now he's back up to like 30,000. So I'll definitely be selling him and getting some MT back. Like, Denny's only what, 20 or 15,000 MT, or let's say 20,000 MT less than a Gary Payton. Gary Payton's a lot better than Denny in my opinion. So if you guys wanted to sell some of your cards right now, I think right now would be a great time to do so. I'm also looking to sell my D-Rob just because I'm trying to accumulate some MT backs for you guys, pack openings and all that type of stuff. So I probably will sell my Dark Matter D-Rob, not because he's a bad card. I love D-Rob. I don't want to sell him at all, but I need MT for pack openings and for content. So I'll probably end up selling my D-Rob because right now is a pretty good time to do so. But let me know what you guys think about the market, what cards you guys trying to sell and what cards you guys are trying to buy. But right now, I think the selling market is really, really good. Like I said, there are some cards that are down in price, like Giannis, he's back up in price. LeBron, he's back up in price. Like all the Dark Matters and the top tier guys are up right now, but there is some budget cards that are definitely a little bit lower. Even a guy like Jokic is kind of hovering around the same price, maybe even a little bit higher. But let me know what you guys think about the market and what cards you guys are trying to buy and what cards you guys are trying to sell. But hopefully you guys did enjoy the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.